Hey everybody, and welcome back to, you guessed it, 5-Minute Fridays. That's right, it's been a while, and but I had a lot of people requesting that I kind of get back on the horse and start doing some more of the 5-Minute Fridays. I probably won't be doing them every Friday, but whenever I find something that's informational, I'm going to go ahead and try to crank that into 5 minutes. So let's get going and make this a true 5 to 10 minute Friday. Here we go. What I want to talk about today is solar panels as a solar suitcase. And by suitcase means it opens up like a suitcase and it's a solar panel. Okay? And I'm not going to talk about hooking them up or how many watts and amps or any of that stuff or which one is better than the other. But what I want to talk about is how I set mine up. There's a person named Collie who I explained this on one other person's channel, and Collie requested kind of a visual. He said he was a visual learner. So Collie, this one's for you. So anyway, some of these suitcases come with a little attachment that, like a leg that comes out. Well, that's great until the wind blows, but it's still better than the Suitcase. The Suitcase doesn't come with anything, nothing to hold it up with. So I had to devise my own method. I can lean it against the van. And other people suggest that, well, I just stick mine in the windshield of my car. I just park my car south and set it right in the windshield and I don't have any problems. Well, that's great, but you're really limiting yourself to the amount of sun you get. Now, if it works for you, great. But most of us that I have run across in full-time van life really try to maximize as much sunlight, especially now in the winter, that we can get. And that means you're going to have to move this solar panel as the sun moves. The sun doesn't really move. The earth moves, but you got the idea. Okay, so how did I put my system together? I put a system together so that I would be able to not only move it this way, but move it this way and not have the wind blow it over. And I think I spent maybe a total of $6 or $7 on the system. For some of you, it may be a really silly system. You may have one better. If so, put your comments down below. But this is how I do it. Essentially, what I did was I took my panels and I got little grommets. Now, you may not need that. Maybe you can tie it to your handles or whatever. But I found that there's a little bit of a ridge going between the solar panel itself and then there's a little extra material that's been reinforced. And I put very small grommets in there, one on each side, about 90% of the way up. And I just took some parachute cord and tied it in a loop, and that works just fine for me. And then what I did was I bought one long piece of PVC pipe, a very long piece, and I cut it into one 4-foot section and two 2-foot sections. Okay, so 96 inches. If you can't find a piece 96 inches, then just buy them however you want. But I found that a 2-foot leg on either side and one long 48-inch to compensate to get a little bit longer than, or wider than the panel is on either side here, works just great. And then I think they're like $2 or $3 for this whole piece. And then you get the two 90-degree elbows, and that's all you need. And I'm using 3/4 inch. Some people use 1 inch, but I don't think it's necessary at all. Maybe if you do the solid heavy panels, it would be, but for these lighter suitcases, not at all. And then you just put it together. You've got an elbow on this side. You want to make sure that the holes are such that you can put it in, and you just thread it through, and then you just thread it through this side to the other side and through the loops, and then you attach these. You do not glue them because you want these to be adjustable. So and you want to be able to take it off when you break this down, because when I travel, the suitcase folds up and these things break down and just fit in the back of my van. They take up zero space. So That's really great. Okay, so now that we have it in theory put together, let's go over and let me show you how you nail it down. Okay, so we've put this together using very inexpensive materials, and we're ready to capture the energy from the sun. And the great thing about this, again, is that this is going to be able to be readjusted all during the day depending on where the sun is, and then rotated depending on the position in the sky. Very inexpensive solution. So how do you put this into the ground? Well, the basic thing I do is I have 2 stakes. Now remember, what I had mentioned was I drilled holes in, and I don't drill the hole straight down, I drill it at an angle. And because now it's at an angle, but it's actually almost straight down. And that's going to give you your most solid purchase of that. And that just doesn't move once you put it in all the way. So I'm not going to do that because I want to show you one more thing, is that once you turn it this way, you can also, once it's at an angle, put a stake just right in front here on the solar panel. And this is going to keep the wind maybe from blowing it out here, yet using a stake versus a rock, you're not taking up any of the solar panel light, which again impedes the amount of solar energy you're getting. So 3 stakes, 2 in the legs, 1 in the front, and it's set up. So if I were to turn this sideways, set this up here, make sure you get it through the hole, put 1 in here, 1 in here under the table, and then if it's really windy, I just put 1 right here in the front. Just tack it in, not very deep. And there you've got a really solid solution. The wind is just not going to take that out. And again though, when you want to rotate it, you can just undo this stake and that stake, and then turn it as the sun moves during the day. Okay? Okay, that's it for 5-Minute Fridays. I hope you enjoyed a little cheap way of putting together your folding suitcase solar panels frame that you can use while you're camping. Pretty flexible, very affordable, easy to make. And if you don't have a hacksaw to cut these, if you get it at Home Depot or Lowe's, they actually have little PVC cutters. They can cut it for you for absolutely free. And so just know what you need as far as your measurements, buy the piece and they can cut it there, and you just stick it together. You don't need any extra tools. So we'll see you next time on Rob and Marvy. And as always, subscribe, like, share if you like our videos. Share them on your Facebook. Tell your friends about us. And please, 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 if you've got a better way to do this or another idea or any comments, write them down below. You're not just writing them to me, you're sharing them to the whole community, and other people may value your opinions too. Okay? Ciao. We'll see you again. Until then, I'll see you down the road.